ladies and gentlemen, we're jumping through. You know, we have a little bit of tech issues because of, look at these ghost chairs in the chat. I love it. I love it. We have a little bit of tech issues. Sun and Moon has kind of brought some new challenges. Do you guys remember the Gallon? How many of you guys remember the Gallon? We're starting off strong, boys. Oh, we're starting off strong. We have a little bit of tech issues with Sun and Moon. The Festival Plaza makes things a little bit interesting. As I was saying, I was going over Nips' team. Dugtrio, Gigalith, Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, Salazzle, and Alolan Persian. So Salazzle, it's a great Pokemon. I have my doubts about it. I really do. Just because I feel like it doesn't have the bulk to exist in this meta. However, I want to see what Nips does with it. It looks like they're good, and it looks like they might be running into this match, which is great. So Thomas has Primarina, Tapu Fini, Ninetales, Mimikyu, Gengar, and Raichu. That's interesting. We see he's got the weather. There's a little bit of a weather war happening here. We have Gigalith with the sand. We have Alolan Ninetales with the ice, but there's really not much else on Thomas's team that takes advantage. Nothing takes advantage of the ice, so I'm interested to see if he ends up bringing that. Actually, everything on his team gets hit by the ice, so a common item you'll see on Gengar is a Focus Sash. Hopefully he's not packing one, because he can go ahead and lose that between the sand or the ice. Either way, it doesn't look like Gengar's Sash is going to stay intact. If that is what he has, I really don't know. I actually didn't look at his team sheet, which is good. I usually don't like casting and giving the information before the battle starts. So advantages that I think Thomas's win cons here. Nips has 2 Pokemon weak to water, and Thomas has both Primarina and Tapu Fini. So that's looking pretty good. However, the Tapu Bulu is on Nips' team, which is really going to threaten the Primarina and the Tapu Fini. Nips has also had doubts, says Jim Slim Dragon. Listen. Sir Mansur is the best online name. That's his alternate, whatever you call it. Not ego. That sounds egotistical, but it's his alternate persona. That's a better word for it. You guys saw both players shook hands, and we're going to jump into this. I'm really excited for this. I'm really glad you guys are here. It's really cool to be casting our very first tournament. We'll have them weekly, like I said. Whoo, you saw that spin move. We see Nips leads with the Bulu and the Persian. So fake out pressures on the field. Primarina and Mimikyu. So Mimikyu being immune to the fake out is going to be interesting. Mimikyu is one of the stronger Pokemons in the format, in my opinion, due to its versatility. It's immune to fake out. It can set up Trick Rooms. It can set up Sword Dances. It has Shadow Sneak, access to priority. So there is a lot. There is a lot that Mimikyu has access to. We're going to see the Persian go for the fake out on the Primarina. Pretty good, pretty obvious play, and we didn't see it protect. So we're going to see a Leech Life on the Mimikyu. Not do too much to the Persian. It is super effective. Horn Leech onto that Primarina most likely is going... No! Horn Leech onto the Mimikyu. So Nips didn't want to double into one slot because oftentimes you can waste an entire turn. If Primarina decided to protect, that would have been a wasted turn. Instead, he wanted to guarantee breaking that sub, or actually it's breaking that disguise. If you guys don't know Mimikyu, his disguise ability gives him like a shield, gives him a nice barrier, and you have to crack that first before you can get a crack at the actual Pokemon. But I think Nips is in a really good spot here. He's got the Bulu with the type advantage. Mimikyu's no longer behind the disguise, and we saw Mimikyu opt to go for that Leech Life against Persian. It is super effective, but we see that damage really wasn't a lot. I feel like a play rough, if Thomas has it, would have been a really solid play there, as Parting Shot comes out and causes me to trip over my tongue. Parting Shot onto the Mimikyu, dropping the attack and special attack, and switches Persian out. So if you're familiar with the moves, U-turn and Volt Switch, you can go ahead and imagine that Parting Shot is similar to that, where you can switch out and get initiative. However, it lowers the attack and special attack. Really interesting move. I'm really enjoying seeing Nips use it. He's been using it on his streams recently. And it really puts in the work. It puts in the work, lowering that attack and having your Pokemon survive hits they normally wouldn't. We're going to see Mimikyu once again go for that Leech Life into that slot. So Nips making that prediction, switching into Gigalith, which doesn't take anything from that thanks to the -1. A Horn Leech into Primarina in the grassy terrain is going to one-shot easily. So I think Thomas is going to have to make some adjustments here if he wants to try to stand a chance. Of course, the sand is going to go ahead and damage everything, and then we're going to have the grassy terrain. And ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what happens in this format. between terrain and weather, the turns take so long, which, I mean, it's not a bad thing if you're a player. It actually is a perfect time to start deciding your next move. It seems as though Nips isn't worried about that Mimikyu at this point. It's at -1/-1. The disguise is cracked. He just wanted to go for that super effective knockout on the Primarina. We're going to see Ninetales come in, get rid of the sand, which means the Gigalith's special defense will no longer be buffed. Oh, it is not... Well, slap me twice and call me Sally. It is not Snow Warning Ninetales. It is just... I think that Ninetales' other ability might be Ice Body. I don't know. Maybe Snow Cloak? Snow Cloak seems right. I'm going to go ahead and run with Snow Cloak because that seems right. So, unfortunately, not... please? My partner saw that I needed the bracket. We're going to see Ninetales go for the Ice Beam into the Bulu. Super effective. Going to go ahead and do about 40% to it. And Mimikyu is going to go for a Psychic. So it is a mixed Mimikyu. I believe this is Thomas's first tournament, so I think he's going to learn a lot here. Wood Hammer into the Mimikyu with the Grassy Terrain up. That's going to one-shot easily. Bulu is a Pokemon that you cannot mess with. You cannot mess with the Grassy Terrain up. It's why top boosts are so important. We're going to see a Heavy Slam into the Ninetales. That's quite effective, and it's going to drop it instantly. Nip's pretty much commanding this match right now, but Thomas can take this information into game 2, and I think can take a lot. You can learn a lot from every battle, 100%. Another one, Dino Dude, another one goes down. But we're going to see Thomas is actually down to his last Pokemon here. Down to his last, and it's going to be the Alolan Raichu. So another Pokemon that would really like a terrain. However, Thomas is not packing the Tapu Koko, the favorable terrain for Raichu, which I don't think is 100% necessary. Tapu Koko is very common in this format right now, and you can kind of just bring the Raichu if your opponent has the Tapu Koko and take advantage of that. We're going to see Bulu switch out and bring in the Persian for some fake out pressure and psychic immunity. And we're going to see Thomas go for, ladies and gentlemen, oh, did Nips do this? Goes for the Z move. It's going to be, I'm guessing it's going to be the Surge Surfer. But yeah, this is Surge Surfer. This is the Stoked Spark Surfer, not Surge Surfer, forgive me. Stoked Spark Surfer. This is one of my favorite animations. Right into that Persian slot. It should definitely one-shot. Oh, Persian lives on 5! Are you serious? But there. Oh, it's guaranteed para. I don't think Nips knows that. He just made a face. And Raichu dodges the Rock Slide. He looks at the camera. Someone needs to tell Nips that it's guaranteed. Persian's going to go down to that sand, so living on 5 does not matter. Can Raichu pull it back in the sand? Hardly being able to see. I don't know. I can't see the future. I have no idea. Gigalith, though, at full HP. Missing that Rock Slide is 100% unfortunate. I think, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Nips to go out into his Doug Trio, the blonde beauty that is Doug Trio. And I really want to know. What he's going to go for here. It's going to be interesting to see. It's just Raichu. It's Raichu versus the world right now. Raichu versus the world. So a nice stab Earthquake will do the trick. Should take out the Raichu easily. Gigalith is going to protect. Based on that protect, I'm pretty sure Doug Trio rather, is going to go for that Earthquake, outspeeding that Raichu. That's more information to take away. Doug Trio is really fast. Like, you think that hair is just for show, but those blonde bangs. Oh, Raichu's going to live that stab EQ, and it's not even spread damage right now. Grass Knot into the Gigalith. Going to get protected. We're going to see Raichu get buffeted by the Sandstorm, and it looks like Raichu's going to go down next turn. So Nips is going to walk away. It looks like with game 1, of course, it's Pokemon. A lot of things can happen. The Grassy Terrain is going to disappear. But Nips being up 3-1 right now can pretty much double into that slot. Raichu cannot take out both Pokemon at the same time. So any two move combination will do the trick. Doug Trio is going to go for that Iron Head. Resisted ×4 is still going to take the Raichu out. They're going to shake hands. That is game 1. I hope the players know that it's best 2 out of 3. I saw Thomas moving his DS a little bit, but I think we should be good for best 2 out of 3 here. They're looking around. It is 2 out of 3. I might have to run out there and let them know. We'll find out in a second. But that game 1 was definitely commanded in Nips' favor. That's for sure. 100%. It's not ×4 resisted. You're right. For some reason, wait a minute. Yes, it is. Psychic doesn't resist. No, you're right. Psychic does not resist steel. Are you sure? Listen, you guys know, if you guys watch me at all, you know that I can go ahead and get this wrong once in a while. 100%, by the way, that it is not quad resisted. It is only half resisted. Just the electric part resists steel. It's that steel resists psychic. I apologize for getting that up. It's ×2. Still looking for this bracket. It's not on the typical link. I literally might have to run out there. I'm upset. I'm a little sad. Let's see. Pokemon. Oh, baby, I love the way. We're jumping back into the next game. This is my favorite scene right here. It has the game in the background and it has both players, and you can see Nips' water bottle, which I don't want you guys to see. Don't look at that! Don't you dare look at that. If I went to AON, I see you there. Wigs, hello. I will be here every Saturday for a while. Just check Twitter. I always tweet out when I'm coming here. So that would be it. There we go. There we go. Justin, thank you so much for posting that link. This is the bracket right here, ladies and gents. Like I said, it's 5 rounds of Swiss. We got 18 players, and some of the games are progressing. The games are progressing. All right, I like seeing that. I like seeing that. I just want to set it up so I can see the whole bracket. Awesome, perfect. It looks like we're jumping into Game 2 now. Game 2, like I said, this is best 2 out of 3. If Nips wins this one, then the set will end. However, if Thomas wins, we'll go to a Game 3, which I love Game 3s. They are my favorite. Oh, exclamation point bracket. Sammy, thank you. I am a fool of a took. I'm telling you, when you're talking by yourself, a gallon of water is your best friend. We're going to see Thomas open up with the same... Actually, he switched them. That's that secret tech. Nips kept the same lead, which is what I would do if it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Thomas also kept the same lead, which will be interesting to see what he decides to do. Thomas gets 0 points for style. Listen, not everyone changes their style in game, their throwing style. Okay, it's secret tech that not every player knows about. If you change your throwing style, your Pokemon are guaranteed critical hits. Guaranteed. That's not true. That's not true at all. Not true at all. But you do get style points, which is very, very nice. It's a very nice. I think we're going to see a fake out from the Persian again. There's no reason. Oh, Persian's going to go straight up for the foul play. Not playing any games right now. Mimikyu's disguise is going to get broken. I think Nips just wants to get rid of it. I think Nips just wants to be done with it. That's it. It's done. He does not fear the Primarina, perhaps. We're going to see that Mimikyu does go for the Leech Life again on that Persian. So making the same play as the first turn, first game rather. I don't know if I can agree with that. We're going to see a Horn Leech from Bulu onto the Primarina. Just going to one-shot it 100%. 100% done. That's all he needs to do. But disguise has been broken. Nips decided fake out was not worth it. Turn 1, since Thomas led the same way, he wanted to take that risk, and it paid off. Didn't have to go for the fake out. We saw the Bulu outsped the Primarina in the last game because the You Have Flinch text did not come up before Bulu used its move. So we're going to see Ninetales hit the field again. It looks like Thomas might have brought the same 4. May have brought the same 4, which is fine. Unfortunately, though, when you lose, you do want to try to make some adjustments if you can. But this is a very young scene on Long Island, so we're going to see some new players that are going to learn a lot. For sure. Are players allowed to switch teams between games? No, Wigslaw. Players cannot switch teams between games. You come in with your team, you fill out your team sheet, and that is it. You have to use that team for the remainder of the tournament. If you want to use a new team, you can come down for friendlies during the week, or you go ahead and come back the next week and try to tear it up with a new one. With the grassy terrain on the field and Bulu out here, Bulu doesn't really want to be... I was going to say, Bulu doesn't really want to be out here with Ninetales, so we're going to see Gigalith come in and set up that sand again. Taking an Ice Beam in the sand is not going to be a problem for Gigalith. Gigalith is a monster of a Pokemon, so if that maybe is the prediction that Nips was making, we'll see if that pans out for him. We're going to see Parting Shot into that Ninetales as well, just to go ahead and lower that attack and special attack, really deciding, hey, I'm not afraid of this Mimikyu. It's been leech-lifing my Persian, it's been biting my kitty, and I'm just going to let it live. I'm going to let it live. Tapu Bulu's going to come back into the field. So that play right there is really, really interesting. Ooh, we're going to see Thomas go... Oh, no, that's not Thomas. That has to be Thomas. Thomas going for a Z move. It looked like it was the Steel Z move, but it has to be the Ice Z move. Sub-Zero Slammer. Sub-Zero Slammer, fun fact, it was the last Z move that I got to see in the game. And I loved it. But like I said, the sand is up. Gigalith's special defense is really high, so in the sand anyway. Not going to do much. That Z move was definitely subpar. Leech Life into the Bulu is neutral thanks to the fairy typing. It's not going to be super effective. And everyone's going to get smacked with some sand right now. Let's see. AON Gaming Twitter account. The Twitter account for AON Gaming is going to be AON Gaming New York. That is the Twitter handle. I'm going to go ahead and type that in the chat for you guys. So if you beauties want to follow it, Twitter handle. That's the Twitter handle. Just VGC today. Yes, Russell, we just have VGC today. We have 200 viewers in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here today for our very first All or Nothing Pokemon VGC 2017 stream. Thank you, Sammy Bammy, for being the best moderator in all the land. Ninetales going to go for an Ice Beam into that Bulu slot for super effective damage. However, last time we saw it doesn't do too much. That Bulu is extraordinarily bulky, kind of tipping to a potential Assault Vest, but I'm not sure. Wood Hammer into the Mimikyu. We know it's going to one-shot. It one-shot in the last game. So Bulu just destroying Pokemon back-to-back. It's a Primarina and a Mimikyu, both going down. We're going to see a heavy slam from the Gigalith into the Ninetales. Same exact run-through as the last game. Going to be a one-hit KO on that Ninetales. And once again, I think we're going to see Raichu versus the world coming to theaters near you. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like I said, this is round 1, so players will be... and this is our first tournament, so players are new. Players will be learning a lot. And I think we're going to see... Is it Raichu versus... It's Raichu versus... All right! Raichu versus the world. Let's get it. Raichu versus the world. Can't use a Z move, though, which I'm very disappointed about. I love Raichu's exclusive Z move because we've already seen the Z move from the Ninetales. We're going to see a Thunderbolt come from that Raichu, most likely into the Bulu, just to pick up a knockout, which it won't. That screams Assault Vest. Oh my gosh. A Horn Leech coming out from the Bulu into the Raichu is going to be enough to pick up the knockout because of that grassy terrain. Bulu is unstoppable. Both players shake hands, and that is going to be the game. So we have Nips with a 2-0 victory over Thomas in the bracket. Both will advance because this is Swiss, but man, oh man. Nips definitely commanded that match with a 4-0 on that second game. But like I said, Pokemon is a game about learning. It's about experience, coming through and getting to battle some new people. See some strategies that we've never seen before is always a good time. Of course, it's going to happen right now, ladies and gentlemen, because we still have... Welcome back, Pokemon fans. We're here with Nips, Sir Manser, after his glorious round 1 win. How do you feel?
I feel good.
You feel good?
Made the talent squad proud, I feel. Ooh, I hear my walk.
I know. Isn't this crazy, dude?
Whoa.
I love it. I love it. This is how it is at the actual tournaments. So, game 1.
Yeah.
You fake out the Primarina.
I did.
And then you broke the disguise in the Mimikyu. Why didn't you double into that Primarina slot?
Well, I knew... I'm not going to say this one thing, but I knew I'm going to live. And I knew I outspeed. So
Okay.
Like, all right, Primarina's going to do its thing. I might as well crack the Mimikyu's neck. Be good to go next turn. And then I just want to be all aggro, man.
I don't know. Listen, I like aggro. I like you went super aggro game 2, and you were just like, I'm not faking out. I'm
foul playing.
I'm breaking this disguise, and I'm one-shotting. That's it. Easy.
I honestly forgot foul play was neutral. And then oh, yeah, he's a ghost type, but he's half fairy as well. But
it doesn't matter because you have the disguise. You're just trying to crack the disguise at that point.
Exactly.
The one thing, what was I going to say? Oh, just so you know, I saw you got, when Raichu paralyzed you, that move is a guarantee.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, now you do?
But Kenny told me afterwards.
Oh, did he?
Oh, Kenny.
Yeah.
No, he didn't know either, though. But we were talking about it. I'm like, oh, it's guaranteed paralyzed. Because I saw a text afterwards that Tia sent me, like, oh, you do get paralyzed from that guarantee. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense why I got paralyzed. And then I missed a rock slide as well. So
I know. I love that you missed the rock slide, though. So that's literally Pokemon right there. I love it. But yeah, that move, guaranteed power is interesting. When the Ninetales came out, it wasn't Snow Warning. I feel like that was a huge relief.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh, that's really good because now you can miss blizzards.
Yep. You can't even carry blizzard. He wasn't even. I don't even think he was carrying blizzard at that point because he never used it.
Exactly. So he had the ice beam instead.
Yep. So
I'm like, all right. So he can miss blizzards if he has it. I was still scared about the focus sash if he has that as well. I don't know. I guess not because I killed him one shot. But at the time I didn't know. But that was huge. But I got to get the secret. Never mind.
You have a secret?
I have a secret.
About his team or your team?
About my team.
Don't say it.
I can't.
Do you think you're taking this tournament today?
I want to. I'm here, baby. Talent squad. I see you in the chat right now. Much love to you guys. We ready. This is our tournament, baby.
All right. So Nips is claiming that he will take it. Thank you guys so much. We'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to check on the bracket, and then we'll go ahead. And if we still have time in the bracket, we'll go ahead and jump over some battle spots. So don't go anywhere.